I thought I would not waste the lovely marzipan left over from the simnel cake and have a go at making some marzipan fruits. Now, normally I'd make these around Christmas time, but I hate to let anything go to waste. So, as you can see, I've used my colours already, made a couple of things. It's only a tiny bit, but I thought the husband might like a couple of marzipan fruits. So I've got well-known brand of colours and I've mixed them on. My advice, definitely use gloves. If I didn't use gloves, I would be going into my healthcare workplace and they would be wondering why I had red fingers, blue fingers, purple fingers. So definitely use gloves. So I'll pop them to one side. The other thing that you would need would be some whole cloves, because we're just going to pop them in the top at the end. The other thing is they smell amazing. Oh, beautiful smell. If you want to, you can use tools. I sometimes do, I sometimes don't. So I was thinking of doing a really easy couple of items. So I tend not to bother to put colour on if I'm doing bananas, because I don't really see the point. It's yellow already, so unless of course you've got that kind of marzipan that's actually already white and that you need to do that. Now white can be handy, because I did especially find when I was trying to do the purple colour that it was a bit of a pain to get the colour right, and it still isn't quite the colour that I would ideally like it to be. So such is life. So basically all I've been doing is rolling these, little roll, pressing in on the ends just to make it a little bit less, and popping it together, and I've got myself a little bunch of bananas. As I say, I'm not doing anything really special, but I hate things wasted. And then these little cloves, as you can see, they have a little bobble on the top, and then they have a little bit at the end that sticks out, and you can just stick them in, you get your little bobble left on top. So put that in my dish, one down. So this one, I am literally doing the easiest thing that I could possibly do. I'm going to use a little tool for this just to make a dimple in the top. I'm going to make a little apple. You can make pears, you can make anything you like. Think of a fruit and you can probably make it. So it's got its little bit there. And I'm going to put the clove in there as well. But it still looks like it's going in nicely. Now, I could be brave, not sure how brave I'm feeling, and put a little bit of red there. Grab a little bit of kitchen roll, and if you want to give it a little highlight on the side, I might then take that away, pop a bit on, and then dab it off and see if you can just give it that little bit of red on the side. So here I have put a little bit of red on the side of my apple. So that's going to sit down here. Now this turned out a bit more red than orange. It's supposed to be orange. Looks a bit red. So we'll make it into whatever I think best. Perhaps it's a grapefruit or a red apple. In fact, I might just leave it as a red apple. Nice and simple. Nice and round. Pop a little dimple on the bottom so it doesn't roll around. Last but not least, and this one's probably my favourite one to make, doesn't take a lot of effort, is I like to make a bunch of grapes. So what I do is I just make lots and lots of little balls and then stick them all together. And once you've stuck them all together, you can just then pop your bit of clove into the top and go for it. Be really interesting to find out how everybody's simnel cakes went if you decided to have a go. How did you find it? Did you change anything on the recipe? Did yours turn out well? Did it sink in the middle? Did it rise beautifully? How much fun did you have putting the marzipan balls on and trying to get 11 consecutively on the top without having them all sticking at funny angles? Yeah, that was fun too. So you can see I'm just popping little bits together. They're quite big grapes, these. I have been known to spend a really long time doing teeny tiny little grapes, you know, making them look absolutely minute and perfect. And I think you can spend as much time or as little time on these things as you want. You know, in the process of doing this, you know, it hasn't taken me long to get the equipment together. You know, you can get a pair of gloves from anywhere these days, supermarket. You can get icing colours, again, local supermarket, local shop. Yes, things like this you might want to. And if I was doing more detail on these, for instance, I often, if I'm spending a bit longer, would maybe put sort of a pattern. If I was doing an orange, I might try and do a little bit of pitting on that surface to try and get that zesty type feel to it. But it really depends what, you know, what level you want to take it to. Nobody says you have to spend hours and hours doing crafts to get a nice effect. These things are really simple. You know, a bit of food colouring, bit of leftover marzipan, no big deals, no stresses. And because I put the food colouring in already and mixed it in, I'm actually not getting food colouring on my hands now, just in case you're all wondering. Having said, you know, do it with gloves, and now I'm not doing it with gloves. Once the food colouring's in, you're all right, but do make sure you've washed your hands before and after. No food poisoning, please, and no lovely colours on your fingers. That's my bunch of grapes, looking rather handsome. And then I'm just popping my clove in the top. Job done. So here we are. Here is my plate of fruit to give to my husband. So have a go. See what you think. Give me some feedback.